Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to this brand new mess. Look, I feel like far too many times this sort of mess keeps reappearing. If you remember Hakim Ziyech under the new ownership when he wanted to go to PSG, there was a mess around there. Malang Sarr, not that long ago, had an issue, I believe, in the last transfer window, and now we're seeing this big ultimate level of mess that is in front of us in regards to Conor Gallagher, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Joao Felix, Omar Dion. It's just, look, do you know what? Everyone knows my stance in regards to Conor Gallagher, but no one deserves this type of situation that is happening to him at the moment. I mean, why have Chelsea got themselves into this mess? Why couldn't you just negotiate properly with Atletico Madrid from the get-go that this player is up for sale? Do you want to take him? If you want to take him, that's it. Why also then get into an agreement? Looks like something has happened here where Chelsea definitely, I believe, in the beginning when they were doing this negotiation for Conor Gallagher with Atletico Madrid, I believe Chelsea probably agreed with Atletico Madrid that they were going to take a player from Atletico Madrid, because I think what Atletico Madrid is trying to do here is they're trying to offset the purchase of Conor Gallagher with the sale of one of their players, because they want to ensure that from a financial fair point view, that they are looked after, and they're not going to breach any issues in the upcoming financial period. So I think this is why Samuel Omar Dion, even though they were reluctant to sell, at the end of the day, he was still up for sale because it was going to be pure profit for Atletico Madrid. And they thought maybe by purchasing Conor Gallagher, they can offset that by selling Samuel Omar Dion for pure profit. And I'm pretty certain from the get-go, Chelsea would have agreed to this particular scenario. And now that it has, Conor Gallagher's literally signed documents, everything's done, medical's done, he's ready to play for Atletico Madrid. And right at the end, Chelsea mess up with this Samuel Omar Dion. I don't know what has happened. I'm not sure. Is it the medical test? Is it the image rights? I don't know what is going on, because all throughout this window, they were telling us that Chelsea have always been interested on Samuel Omar Dion. Always. This isn't a new thing. This isn't a new story. For the past 2 to 3 months, it was always about Samuel Omar Dion, and all of a sudden, in the final hours, no, we don't want him anymore. And now we're in this mess where Conor Gallagher, Atletico Madrid needs to offset that cost. They're not going to simply purchase Conor Gallagher without offsetting that cost, because they've also splashed out a lot of money for Julian Alvarez. It was all part of that whole domino effect that Fabrizio Romano was talking about, because Atletico Madrid has spent a lot of money on Julian Alvarez and they don't want to incur even more costs for Conor Gallagher. They want to be able to offset that. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, in all of this mess, poor Conor Gallagher, now exclusive, on his way back to London on private flight. Now, this was 4 hours ago, so I'm pretty sure he's already back. And there's already news that he's going to be in the under-21s. And I told you this as soon as Conor Gallagher was going to return back to Cobham, that he wasn't going to train with the first teamers. Now, look, the deal is not collapsed yet. The deal is still open. It can still happen. We're still trying to find some ways to negotiate with Atletico Madrid on a separate situation for Conor Gallagher and for Joao Felix. Who knows? Maybe Atletico Madrid might end up selling someone else besides Joao Felix to offset this. The bottom line is it's not collapsed yet, but it's not a good look for us. And it's certainly not fair on Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher 100% does not deserve this level of treatment, where he was stuck at Madrid for the last 4 or 5 days at a hotel, all training by himself, waiting to join his new teammates at Atletico Madrid. And here he is back at Cobham. And you're not going to be able to use the first team facilities. You're going to be with the under-21s, pretty much banished. And that's the news that's getting circulated around. Chelsea wanted him to return as Atletico deal still in standby, all done between Conor, Atleti, medical and documents included, but no final signatures from Atleti. Story remains open. So look, That is probably the only positive, that it's not collapsed yet. Hopefully we find a resolution for everyone's sake, but now more than anyone, Conor Gallagher's sake, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is outright disgusting. And a club like Chelsea should not be dealing transfers like this and treating players in this manner. Even more so, your own players from your academy. I mean, look, regardless of that, you shouldn't be treating any player like that. But it's just sad that Conor Gallagher, who was a club captain last season, is getting thrown around like this, which is quite disturbing to see. And I hope Chelsea Football Club, as I said, this isn't the first time Chelsea is mucked up. This is what's going to happen when you have a plethora of players and a couple of directors that are, let's be honest, they're not of the elite nature. They're novice, they're incompetent, and this is what's going to happen. Chelsea still believe that Atletico want to complete the Conor Gallagher deal and remain committed to it themselves, but the Spanish club need to sell at least one player. This is coming from Matt Law. So the bottom line is Atletico Madrid needs to balance their books, and they cannot afford to splash out more money for Conor Gallagher, knowing that they've done that for Julian Alvarez. Now, so that aside, we now have the problem of Joao Felix, because it looks like, see, this issue, one hand, we need to do this because I feel like, as I said, I feel like we agreed something with Atletico Madrid that we're going to take one of their players in order for them to take Conor Gallagher. So we need to do something, but I also think George Mendes has a part to play. It's his client, Joao Felix. He's helped us get Pedro Neto. Now he's trying to squeeze in Joao Felix at Chelsea Football Club. I've seen a lot of comments here on my video yesterday that means, how could you say Joao Felix is not necessary? I think people need to understand what I mean by Joao Felix is unnecessary. I feel Joao Felix's characteristic and his skill set is there in the likes of Cole Palmer, in the likes of Nkunku. Joao Felix isn't an out-and-out winger, in my opinion. Can he play as a winger? Of course he can, but he's not an out-and-out. For me, he's more of an inside forward, someone who can play as a second striker. So we've got quite a lot of players of that ilk. We don't really have players in the likes of Pedro Neto. Joao Felix is not Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is someone who can play in either side of the wings and literally, hug the touchline. So that's where I came from, that Joao Felix is a bit unnecessary. And a lot of you guys commented and started saying, oh, Miz, here you go talking rubbish again. We've got Mudryk, we've got Sterling, we need to get rid of them. Joao Felix is an upgrade. Of course he's an upgrade, but that is not the characteristic that you're looking for to upgrade on Mudryk and Sterling, who are genuine wingers. Do you know what I mean? So, as I said, I love Joao Felix. You don't understand how much I love this player. When he joined Chelsea Football Club a couple of seasons ago, I was elated. And I'm going to be once again elated purely for the vibes if he comes to Chelsea Football Club. And of course, players like Sterling and Mudryk, one of those guys or both of them probably might have to leave. But you have to understand, Joao Felix is similar characteristics to some of the players that we have. So that's where I was coming from, that it's a bit too much. But I'm not going to, if he ends up joining Chelsea Football Club, of course I'm going to be cheering him on. So, but let's see what happens. Now, this is the scenario of Joao Felix. The valuation of Joao Felix, the salary, the commission of the agent. There are many points to clarify on this story. And Atletico are aware Chelsea believe that Felix is no longer part of their plans. So they need to find a solution as soon as possible. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano. So here, look, all of this is true. We also know that he's not part of Atletico Madrid. So why should we pay over the top? Atletico Madrid's stance at the moment on Joao Felix is that it's not going to cost you the same money as Samu Amordion. I think what Chelsea is trying to say, we've agreed on a fee for Samu. Let's do that, and you can offset Conor Gallagher. And what Atletico Madrid is saying is that, no, Samu, that was the price for Samu. We have a different price for Joao Felix. We value him a lot more, and we value him in excess of 50 million, which Chelsea don't want to pay, because Chelsea also has a stance that we know he's not part of your plan, so you're going to have to give us a discount. So look, this is a tussle that's happening, and as I said, ultimately, poor Conor Gallagher, who's waiting on the outskirts, is getting hurt. So let's see what happens over the next few days in regards to this situation. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, another transfer saga that is brewing, and I feel like something needs to give here. Something has to happen here, because Napoli are desperate for Lukaku. Lukaku's agreed on personal terms with Napoli. He's ready to go. Victor Osimhen is no longer part of Napoli. Osimhen don't want Napoli. Osimhen also has an interest to join Chelsea. However, he doesn't want to take a pay cut, and he's not going to compromise on just a loan. It needs to be a permanent transfer. If it's a loan, then there has to be an obligation. So, and Chelsea at the same time don't want to pay all of that money to Napoli in terms of transfer fee, and the wages are a bit of concern. So there's got to be some give here. It feels like every stakeholder kind of wants bits and pieces, but it's not coming together. But something has to happen. So let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen. This is the latest. Chelsea have never left the race for Victor Osimhen, despite reports this month. Interest has always been and remains there, but Osimhen's still open to leaving only on a permanent transfer and not reducing his salary. No changes so far. Coming from Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea have rekindled their interest in Victor Osimhen with a possible swap with Romelu Lukaku and cash payment in favor of Napoli. That's the only way. It's got to be Romelu Lukaku plus some cash on top. Depends on how much cash that is. And the way Napoli are valuing Romelu Lukaku is insane. He's not 25 million. We've got a release clause, I believe, about 35 to 37 million pounds. They need to pay that, I feel, and then apply a little bit more discount on Osimhen, who they don't want, and Osimhen don't want them. And there needs to be a little bit of discount there. And if Chelsea are able to find a substantial discount and obviously get rid of Romelu Lukaku's wages off our books, then I feel like maybe something can be negotiated with Osimhen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. This could be a permanent or a loan with an obligation. This is coming from DiMarzio. So Osimhen and his camp, they don't want just a simple loan and then his future is up in the air again next season. They don't want that. They want a proper resolution. Victor Osimhen will not reduce his salary, not even €1. I'm 100% sure he's 11 million euros net per season right now with Napoli. Conte wants Lukaku. Negotiation is ongoing. Napoli director is now in London to negotiate with Chelsea face-to-face to find an agreement. So, look, potentially something could happen over here. Osimhen to Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen, I have to be honest. I'm excited. I am a little bit weary. Is he going to work out under Enzo Maresca the way Maresca wants to play? I think if under Pochettino was still here, I think Osimhen would have been a sensational striker for Pochettino, someone whose off-the-ball work rate is immense. But let's see. Maybe Maresca can work with a player like Osimhen. Maresca wants a striker. So this is a bona fide striker. And I've got no doubts that when he comes to the Premier League, he's going to just settle in physicality point. African players generally they do well in the Premier League. So and we've got good history with African players as well. So look, I'm not worried about that. I'm just concerned that Osimhen, he's not like someone who's fluid in the front three. He's a genuine striker, and Maresca will need to get all the players in and around the attacking players to feed Osimhen a load of opportunities. And you best believe, Osimhen will finish things off. So let's see what happens. I feel like a resolution has to happen here, and I feel he probably might be a Chelsea player and Lukaku going the other way. Now, next up, some really good news, ladies and gentlemen. Cole Palmer has signed a new 2-year extension, keeping him at Chelsea until 2033. He's here for life, but I'm very, very happy with that. He's a sensational footballer. This guy is, honestly, we've got some superstar building here. Really, I'm telling you, we've struck gold here big time. There is an immense player, being developed over here, and I'm so glad that he's got the new contract, and it's an upgraded contract. Palmer is thought to be on wage similar to Enzo and Caicedo, more than 120,000 a week. So I know we have got a cap at 150,000. I don't think anyone earns. I know there's all these stories that Enzo earns more than this. Then look, I think everyone at the end of the day is still within that 150,000. And Cole Palmer, I believe he was on 75,000 and is, I'm pretty sure he's probably more than 120K a week. But that's a very decent increase after the first sensational, season that he's had. And if he continues to do that, I'm pretty sure he's just going to keep increasing that salary, and he deserves it. But my only concern is a player like Cole Palmer. There'll come a point where if Chelsea are not serious in terms of competing in all fronts, he'll end up leaving Chelsea Football Club. There's no two ways about that, because he's just too good not to get any level of silverware soon. So yeah, very happy, very excited, and he fully deserves it, and he fully appreciates, and also he's addressed the fan base that, look, thank you for the support, and he wants to continue doing well, not just from a personal point of view, but from a team perspective as well. Next up, Chelsea would also like to extend Nicholas Jackson's contract by another 2 years and reward him for his impressive first season at the club. Negotiations are likely to take place in due course, coming from Outlaw. Now, look, yes, he's scored a lot of goals. Yes, he's shown good quality and good skill set. And he fully deserves a new contract as well. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, there's some really good assists. There were some really good goals last season. My only thing is, he's not the finished product yet. Like, whereas Cole Palmer, you can almost say, yeah, man, you can start seeing the final form. I'm pretty sure Cole Palmer will develop even more and more. Of course, he's a young kid. But with Nicholas Jackson, he's a few levels behind. Even though he's done well, he's still a few levels behind. There's a lot of things in his game that he needs to improve. We're not going to forget, as a fan base last season, we're not going to forget the gilt-edged chances Nicholas Jackson has missed right in front of goals. Was mad. Not just with his feet, but aerially is something he needs to improve big time. So hopefully he can do that. And yeah, he's in line to get a new contract. Big up to him. Next up, some really nice pictures here. Pedro Neto's first training session, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I would like to see Pedro Neto be involved against Manchester City in this upcoming first match of the Premier League's new season. I would love to see Pedro Neto come off the bench, get some minutes, and potentially give us a little bit of that attacking impetus. So let's see what happens. But these are some of his pictures of his first training session. Looks like players are very happy to have him, and he's a fantastic addition to Chelsea Football Club, man. And this is where you can say our owners having a good relationship with George Mendes, the powerhouse agent. It helps when you can get players like Pedro Neto, and hopefully he stays fit. If Pedro Neto stays fit for the entirety of the season, oh my God, we are gonna cook, absolutely cook. Now, let's have a look if there's any other latest news that has dropped since we started recording. Nothing new as yet, Cole Palmer quotes, but it is as is at the moment in terms of Conor Gallagher and Joao Felix. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about the treatment of Conor Gallagher. I feel like it's total disrespect, man. Chelsea, far too many times this has happened now, and we need to get better. We need our sporting directors to be a lot more competent. We need our football club to be a lot more competent, because yeah, we can't be doing deals like this. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash that like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya.